Hey guys, Mel the Train Tutor here again with another sort of how-to tutorial for you. And it's an impromptu one because I'm working with this Greenfield set and I'm just finishing it off. And to finish it off, I'm including a few old GW accessories that I've got knocking around that I need to use, and you know, just seemed like a good idea to go with the set. Now, so what we've got? Well, we've got their old trees, we've got their old hedges, and we've got their old fantasy walls. Okay, so what I'm going to do is very quickly do you a quick video. I don't know if it'll be quick, you know me. Yeah, but I'm going to sort of customize these to tie these in to this set. Now, there's a couple of things that we can do straight off the bat, and then we'll skip forward and do the rest once things are dried and that sort of stuff. First off, the trees. Now, a lot of hobby trees sort of come with the tiny armature bases. My poor dry brushing from when I was a child. Look at that green, it's horrible. But anyway, they sort of come with very simple bases, and they're okay, but they tend to fall over and they don't give you an opportunity to tie it in with your terrain. Yeah, so what I did back then, yeah, and these are, I've got loads of these, and some of them are base, some of them are flock, but basically I mounted these on GW flying bases. Yeah, textured over them. Yeah. Now, dead simple to do, just PVA, etc., a bit of grit, and glue the tree first, and then the grit once the tree's, you know, solid in place. And then after that, it's painting and flocking as usual, which I'm going to do, and I don't really need to show you that, to be perfectly honest, because you've seen it. Yeah. So that's for the plan with the trees, and then in the end, I'll go on these area terrain bases up here. Now, with the hedges, they're going to take a little bit more work, so we'll come back to those in the future. Okay, next one is these sort of pre-bought, yeah, fantasy walls. They're quite nice, they're quite detailed. They've got the various sort of little pop marks in, etc., but that's typical with this sort of stuff, and with a decent dry brush and that sort of stuff you can make those disappear. But the issue with them quite often is the fact that they come pre-static grassed. Yeah, and this is a pain in the backside, because as you paint it, flock it, it will constantly stick up and show itself, and trying to get rid of this sort of really bright hobby grass look is quite a challenge. Yeah, so what I do, and quick sort of health and safety here, yeah, make sure you're in a ventilated area, you know, I use a lighter to singe them, okay? I've got a sink right by me in case things catch fire, so, you know, be careful with this technique, but it is a simple matter of, yeah, so if I bring that up to the camera now, and let it focus, yeah, you can sort of see what that's like, and you see how soft and fibrous it is. Yeah, it sticks through paint and all that sort of stuff, and PVA. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, get my lighter, run it up. Now, I'm not concentrating in any one area. I'm just running it up and down. Yeah, go the other way. Quick one there. Now obviously you can use the heat gun and all those sort of things on this sort of stuff, and then I'm going in and I'm just tapping it down. Yeah, obviously don't tap it as you've just lit it, because it'd be melting, it'd be hot, but that's the result. Okay, and basically what we've done is we've singed all those fibres, yeah, and by putting the run, everything that's sticking up has suddenly been receded. So if I put those two there, see the difference? Yeah. Now, because that's singed, it'll be a lot easier to paint over and retexture and match to our set. Yeah. What I'm going to do when it comes to painting over this, and we'll do it in a second once I've just done all these, is I'm going to hit this up with a mixture of my base coat and a little PVA just to set it, and that will set that light texture. So we'll do that once I've done those. So back in a second, guys. Right, these are all done. Yeah. Yeah. As you can see, I've singed all those back. Yeah, don't go crazy with it, you know, there'll always be little bits that stick up, but remember, you can hide those with flock, with clump foliage, yeah, just get the bulk of it down. Now, if you've got a piece like this, yeah, now obviously you can't go over it with a lighter. Yeah, for something like this, yeah, I'd hit this over with with a heat gun, and then I'd even consider retexturing it, to be perfectly honest, because it is quite dense. If you're doing it with a heat gun, then obviously, you know, broad strokes, don't concentrate in a special area, and above all, you know, when you're using flames and that sort of stuff, you know, just be careful, guys. Okay, time to base coat these now, and as I said, we're going to do them in a bit of PVA and watch out our base coat brown. So I've got my Java bean, my Wilco's Java bean. I've got a brush dip full, yeah, and all I'm going to do is add a bit of PVA. Yeah, I'm looking at about 1/3 PVA, 2/3 paint. Yeah, give it a good stir. Yeah, now this is the first base coat. I will go over this afterwards with another coat when I do the entire thing. This is purely just to knock back those, this static grass. And it is literally just a matter of getting your brush and sort of rubbing it in. And you do have to rub it in and get it in between. Come on. You can't. What are you doing, Bose? There you go. Do you see what I mean? I'm sort of stippling it and rubbing it in. Yeah, and all that's going to do is it's going to mat all that static grass down. Yeah, so very quickly, and I'm not worried about going over the rocks because I'm going to base coat those brown and tie them into the into the terrain piece anyway. So very quickly, I'll just get this done. And I can show you. Yeah, okay, fill those gaps. There you go. Right. Let me move that there. Yeah, you see what it's done? It's all matted it down. Yeah, now when that dries, yeah, because the PVA in it, that will hold it well stuck in place. Yeah, and it'll be perfect just to dry brush over and flock as usual. And you'd never know that the original, static grass was there. So what I'll do is, once that's, I'm going to do all these, and once they're dry, I'll quickly show you, and then we'll move on to the hedges. Right, I'll crack on, guys. So these are pretty much done now, guys. Yeah, if I bring it up and you can see they're virtually dry, but you can see it's just a little bit places where it's lighter. Yeah, you see the texture? They're perfect for dry brushing. Yeah, they're solid. Yeah, and like I say, there's no sign of the previous static grass whatsoever. So from this point on, you just treat them like any other terrain piece. Yeah, we base coat them, we'll dry brush them up, etc. Get some flock and some clump foliage on there, and they'll look great. Right, I'm going to crack on with these. I don't need to show you painting them up or anything like that. Yeah, and what we're going to do is, well, I've done these. Yeah, we'll jump on and I'll show you how to base the edges and stuff like that. So let's crack on, eh? Okay, guys. Next up, we've got these bog standard hobby hedges. And these are these are just wire brushes that have been flocked, etc. Yeah, and they're perfectly fine on their own. You know, you can slap them down, you know, lay them out in a load of them and they look rather good. Yeah, there's no worries, but you know, I want to tie them into our set. Now to do this, I need to basically base them. Yeah, and to do this, I'm going to be using hot glue. Yeah, so I've got kitchen paper, greaseproof paper. Yeah, because hot glue will stick to it when it's hot, and when it cools we'll be able to peel it completely off. And what I'm going to do is basically use hot glue around the edges to create a base for it. So I've got my hot glue here. Yeah. Now the other thing I'm going to do is very quickly, I get this, yeah, and I just rest it on there like that. Yeah, and I stand it up so it's looking sort of upright. Sometimes they tip to the side. Yeah, and that's just there to hold it. It's not going to damage the actual hedge. Yeah, and the first thing I do is straight along the entire edge with our smoking hot glue. Smoking. Okay, and this is going to give me a rim to to flock and to tie into the board. It's also going to help the piece actually stand upright when it goes onto a board, rather than it tipping over to one side like it's trying to now. Right, that's the joy of hot glue. You do have a little bit of work time with it. Yeah, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and say here, I'm going to put a big blob, and then say there, I'm going to put a big blob. And that was about as much hot glue as I can fit in that one. Yeah, rocks, yes, exactly the same scatter as we used on the rest of this terrain set. Yeah, push that in. Watch your fingers because it is hot. Yeah, and then some I'm not going to mess around because I need to get this on before the glue dries. Yeah, so I'm just going to sprinkle those on. Yeah, I'm not trying to get them all stick, I just want a couple of them stick and a couple of them will drop off. Okay? Now, what I've got to do now is leave this to dry completely before I go and attempt the other side. So, I'll see you in a minute. So there we have it, guys. I've done the other side. Yeah, I've also glued all around the edges, and all I've got to do now is leave it to dry. Yeah. When it's dry, yeah, it will cool. Yeah, and then you'll be able to peel it off the paper. Okay, and what you're left with is something like this. Yeah, and as you can see, it's got a base on it. Yeah, you can see your rocks embedded there. Now it's a little bit rough and ready. All I'm going to have to do is, with a blade or my clippers, just come around, clean up these sort of rough edges, etc. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll paint the base in the same brown and PVA mix as we did with the static grass on the walls. Okay, now if you look underneath, you can see the big gap here. There's a couple of things you can do with that. You can leave it empty, it's perfectly fine. You can get some filler and just fill that over. Yeah, you could put the entire load of, you could put a base of hot glue down, but if you're going to do that, you might as well build an MDF base or something like that, mount it on something else. Yeah, this is supposed to be quick and easy. What I'm going to do is the same brown and PVA mix. I'm just going to paint that all in there, and what that'll do is it'll tighten it up, it'll seal it, it'll hold all the bits together and just make it a little bit more rigid. Yeah, and at the same time, anyone sort of looking through the gaps will just see the darkness. Yeah, so I've got to wait for this to dry. I'll paint these up, and then we'll come back at the end and I'll show you how they all look. Okay guys, I'll see you at the end. So guys, here we have them. We have our trees, which were based on GW flying discs, but you could use MDF discs for these, the little round bases. I forgot to mention that at the start. Just sand their edges. Okay, we've got our old GW walls, which have been, we had the static grass sort of singed off those, and then it matted down, and then we flocked it, put on our clump foliage. Then over here we've got our hedges with our hot glue bases. Okay, and as you can see, they look gorgeous. So very quickly, these are very simple affairs. Yeah. Bring these up. Yeah, just a little bit of effort. Well, not a little bit, but it pays off, you know what I mean? Now remember, all these have been done to tie in with a terrain set. Okay, so whereas before they were quite hobbyish, GW hobbyish, you know what I mean? Yeah, now they tie in beautifully with that terrain set, so they'll all work together. Now very quickly, just before I go, let me show you some of these hedges. Yeah. Remember, these were just wire brushes, yeah? And we did the hot glue work, matted it, flocked it, put in a lot of rocks. Let me bring it that way. Yeah, I'm getting better at this camera stuff. And now, I hope you've been liking the quality of the vids lately, guys. I've really been working. I've found the sweet spot for the light in the kitchen, and I think they're getting better, but let me know. Yeah, and then finally, there you go. That one as well, with the Tajima 1 tufts on. Yeah, a bit of clump foliage, two-tone, static grass. Now, the only thing remaining with these is I've got to just let them finish drying. Then this evening, I'm just going to give them a quick spray down with watered down PVA. Yeah, just to seal them like the rest. And what that'll do is it'll just mute the colours just a touch, just darken them to tie them in with the actual set. Yeah. So there you have it, guys. That's some simple tips for getting your old GW hobby stuff and sort of jazzing it up, tying it in with a new set and making it something rather beautiful. Anyway, as always, like it if you've liked this or found it useful. Share it with your mates if you think someone who's got some of this stuff, and give them a poke. Get them actually do this. It's hot glue. It's singeing. It's MDF bases, guys. You can do this. Yeah, and it's worth it. Yeah, and as always, if you really like what I do, check out the Patreon link. Yeah, thanks a million, guys. Yeah, as always, if you've got anything to add, throw it in the comments. Any questions, throw them in the comments. I'm here to help, guys. Yeah, all the best. Yeah, I'll see you soon in the next tutorial. Ta-da.